I'd like to express a few thoughts today regarding um, my position on creation, because I believe that even though it's really not as spoken of uh, topic in religious circles, I believe that it is part of what is at the heart of our commonality as well as our differences. Although we as mortal man, we like to focus on our differences. Uh, God created the heavens and the earth, and I am one of those that takes that literally, but at the same time, I take it with a more, um, in my opinion, a more grounded view. To create is to organize. Now, uh, the common perception is that God is an all powerful, which He is, um, mysterious, which He is, all knowing, which He is, yet magical. And that is where I take my separation and part ways. Uh, in my humble opinion, I don't see the purpose of the immensity and the vastness of space if it's not being used for the purpose of man. And in my opinion, it magnifies and exemplifies and to a very minute degree uh, depicts the scope and power of God if we include the concept that He really is the author of worlds without number. For instance, although we cannot possibly put a definitive count on the number of inhabitants of the earth um, from the beginning of time till now, if we could, that would put a finite number uh, when that final time comes. That would put a finite number to God's creation as far as man, would it not? And if we run off the idea that God is unlimited, is everlasting and unlimited, consider then the possibility that through His power and authority, the line of authority, that priesthood authority, perhaps this plan of a world to put people on has existed countless times. And if that so be, where are those people? I am one that believes that there are civilizations that are eons older than ours that still exist, that perhaps are traveling the stars right now. I don't know, but in my opinion, it would be a waste of space if there weren't beings out there. And I'm not talking about little green men. It's entirely possible that they may be every bit as normal as us, whatever normal is. But I also believe that there are worlds out there that are no longer physically viable. Whether that world has wasted away through the natural decay, or whether the people that were on them have destroyed it in some manner. Is that not possible? Have not we been for decades have been scared of us destroying our world and blowing it up? I don't know if we have that kind of power yet, but is that not possible? So then we get to earth. God's created the heaven and the earth. Well, is it not possible that he organized the world and the heavens, which includes the moon and the planets and whatever? Isn't it possible that he organized it with matter that existed, that was currently available? So what I'm getting at is that I believe that it magnifies his greatness to not only entertain, but seriously ponder and consider the concept that our God, through his power and authority, has brought together materials from all around the immensity of space to put together that which we live on and that which we observe in the sky. And it's not doctrine, but it certainly serves to me that might be one of the ways that we can piece together religion and science. If certain religions say that we are about 6,000 or 7,000 years old, yet we have dinosaurs that are millions, perhaps that is part of the organization process that science still does not accept or want to entertain. But that is one avenue that they both can coexist in a marriage. And so, as far as God versus gods, I believe that there were many, countless people of authority, gods if you will, that partook of the creation of the earth. And again, I say, why not? That does not diminish the all-powerful eternal Father in heaven. In fact, in my opinion, it magnifies it, because it again exemplifies and depicts his authority, his line of power. Because I believe that all creation, all energy, obeys and is dictated through him. Not necessarily by him by mouth, but he directs all things that take place. And so, that's where we get into Jesus Christ, who is at his right hand, who also receives his power and authority through the direct line of God the Eternal Father. So why stop there? Why not go forth and proceed that Jesus Christ delegates projects, authorities, commandments to other angels, if you will, to do certain work? Don't we have scriptural examples of this, where angels have come down and done a certain work, where prophets have been called and have done certain work and have done great, marvelous things through the power and authority of God? Let's think about that. So, I don't believe that I believe that science and religion at heart are one the same. We, just as mortal man, still have not come to grips, come to learn enough. We're still in our infancy as far as our learning of the universe and learning of the Spirit. And so, Those are my thoughts on God and His scope. And in closing, I would like to say one thing that there is one writer whom I uh, hail above all others, and that's C.S. Lewis. And he's a man that was ahead of his time as far as serious thinking. And I can't quote him directly right now, but there is a quote that I hold very dear to my heart and goes right in line with my own religious practice and belief. And that is to the effect that he said that basically we wouldn't dare treat our neighbor like we do now if we knew the potential of that other person. If we understood that each of us has a divine destiny, that each of us has the potential to be a god or a goddess, and by extension, to also create worlds without number through the line and authority and the priesthood power of Jesus Christ, thus God the Eternal Father. But that was the basic idea, is that we wouldn't treat our neighbor if we knew that person's real potential. And I think that's a very deep thing that we all really need to understand as we go forth and fight other people in other people's battles, whether it be Syria, Egypt, Iraq, Afghanistan, Pakistan, Russia, Mexico, whatever it is. We need to see that. And so those are my thoughts on God today. That may be popular to some, it may not be popular. Don't really care. But everyone is entitled to their own opinions and their own right to worship as they may. And so those are my thoughts for today.